here in North Texas. It's to be expected that it's going to be drier. To go along with that, we do have the potential for, of course, heat stroke. So we're going to toss it over to Carla. She's got more details on what that might mean for you folks here in North Texas.
And yeah, the heat is on in North Texas with triple-digit heat on the way. In fact, the average temperature in the U.S. has increased 2 degrees over the past 50 years. And of course, with those rising temperatures come those concerns about heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And we wanted to know how you really spot the difference between the two of those things and the impact that it can have on our body as well as our brain. And joining me now this morning is Dr. James Pinckney of the Second of Diamond Physicians. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Well, let's start with that question first. How do you recognize the difference between the two? And we also have a graphic while you're talking to kind of explain the difference between the heat stroke and just heat exhaustion.
Well, that's a great question, Carla. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke, there's a spectrum. With heat exhaustion, you want to watch out for moist, clammy skin. You can have heavy sweating. You can actually have dizziness, nausea, and most important thing, I want people to cool down, find a nice shaded area. You can have ice packs with cold compression, with water, and make sure you have a fan. Heat stroke is a completely different situation. Heat stroke is actually a medical emergency. So if you see signs and symptoms of heat stroke, you need to call 911, and those are hot, dry skin or profuse sweating, and you can actually have altered mental status, so hallucinations, confusion, slurred speech. Core temperature can rise up to 105 degrees. So call 911, and then you need to initiate immediate cooling measures. So I like a cold water immersion for 15 minutes, ice packs. You can douse the individual with water, and then wait for emergency medical services to arrive.
Let's talk a little bit more about heat exhaustion and those symptoms. As you mentioned, the other heat stroke, that's obviously a medical emergency. Most of us probably most likely to perhaps have suffered from heat exhaustion at some point out there mowing our lawns, doing yard work, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it can happen very quickly, and with the heat and humidity combination, people are going to be at more risk for heat exhaustion. So if you are feeling nausea, dizziness, not feeling right, core temperature can rise to 100 to 102 degrees, then you need to lie down, elevate the feet above the head, and make sure you drink plenty of fluids.
Can you tell us a little bit more? What are some of the things, if I'm experiencing these symptoms, what kind of things should I immediately do to kind of treat myself, self-treat, I guess?
You want to stop, get out of the heat, find a cool shaded area, drink plenty of fluids, and lie down, get into a comfortable space. If you have ice packs, you can place ice packs under the arms. Definitely elevate the feet above the head, and find a fan. That's the most important things that you need to do if you're suffering from heat exhaustion.
And we talk a lot about the physical effects of this, but this can also have quite an effect on our brains if we don't take care of ourselves. That's our last thing we want to talk about before we get a break.
Yeah, absolutely. With heat exhaustion and heat stroke, you can actually have brain damage. The body is so hot that cells in the brain can die, and damage to internal organs. So it's really critical that you stay hydrated during the day. And if you do have any health issues, you can call a medical provider on heat exhaustion side. My company, Diamond Physicians, we have a location in Frisco now. We're available 24 hours a day, especially for clients without insurance. It's a low monthly membership fee, $45 a month for kids. Adults start at $95. It's an incredible service that we offer at Diamond.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is Dr. James Pinckney, and we put this complete interview and all the other information about heat stroke and heat exhaustion online. That'll be at WFAA.com.